Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
No problem.
Congratulations on the upcoming album, Borderland.
Thank you.
In September 26th, and of course, congratulations on the Bones song, which is, I think, a great ambassador of the new album. I would like to start by the fact that you are releasing your 15th album, studio album, as a band. When did it start? And as an idea, let's do that. Let's start writing music for the next one. And how long did it take to wrap it up? Composing, recording, releasing.
Well, we knew when the tours are going to stop. Normally, the schedules go like, a year ahead when the shows are going to be. So we knew that we're going to stop touring because we did like 2 European tours, US tour, or maybe 2, I can't remember, and a couple of festival summers. So it was quite obvious that when all the touring stops, the next move will be to record an album. And I have no idea when other guys composed the album, but I basically 24, there was some time off in the beginning of the year, so I started to compose my stuff in the beginning of 24, and I think everybody was doing songs here and there, and then we had a deadline till the August that we will deliver all the songs before, was it the US tour, what we did in the end of the summer, and we thought that at that meantime the new producer Jakob Hansen can select the songs and get to know with the material what everybody has been making. And after that, we finished our tours. I think we finished in Finland eventually until in November or something. And then we started to a little bit rehearse the songs, what was selected for the album. And then we did the album in Denmark. Most of the instruments like drums, guitars, and bass. And the rest were done in Finland. So I would say the whole recording process took like 2 months, including the mixing, but obviously if you calculate the composing times, it's pretty hard to estimate, but because everybody has their own style to write the songs. But personally, 2 months composing, 2 months, the whole band recorded 2 months.
As a band, do you follow the classic way to record the instruments, drums first, then guitars, and then et cetera, and the singer goes last? How does it go in your situation?
It goes pretty much like that. Normally we are all in a studio when we are nailing the drums in. So the whole band is, well, not always, but playing with the drums, and then we take one at a time. So I stayed like after drums 1 week there, and then Esa and Oppu came, and Santeri continued from that, I think, in Finland, and last the vocals. But yeah, that's how it normally goes.
We listened to Bones and we were, astounded. The way it goes, the way it forms, the way it elevates, the way it moves, and we heard. And I read that statement that I wanted my keyboard player to come up with a riff that is also so heavy. So Sunday, what happened? You guys are virtuosos in what you do, all you guys, in your instruments, but what happened with this particular synthesis?
Well, it's kind of obvious that in this band, when there's 2 old school death metal guitarists from the 90s, from the legendary albums, it's not a surprise that normally the heaviest songs or the most riff-oriented songs comes always from the guitar players. And I just said the quote because I was thinking when I wrote the song that it's actually totally possible also as a keyboardist to make a very heavy riff-based song. And that's what happened, and I had no single doubt in my mind that the Tomi will growl his ass off to the top of the Middle Eastern riffs and stuff, what I ended up putting in the verse and the beginning of the song. But that's a funny story, but that actually happened. That I tried to be as heavy as a keyboard player can, without sounding too crossoverish or new metalish, like trying to keep the old Amorphis spirit in the song and with some tiny tricks and hooks.
Based on what you said before, with the Eastern Asian, I would say Egyptian-like riffing and all that, it was really catching up and built a certain atmosphere. You originally said from the beginning, I got this idea. It goes like this. It sounds a bit Egyptian. We'll picture it. We move it to sound like we built the pyramids. And it sounds really extravagant and impressive. That was the original idea. Let's do something like this. Move that way, music-wise.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't work together. The song came out as it is, arranged, fully arranged and stuff. So I wouldn't say like let's make this to get like this. No, but I did it, and it's nothing new. Amorphis has used Middle Eastern melodies since I think already in Tales there was some, and in Elegy they had a Better and Born. It's nothing new, and that's a fun part in Amorphis. You don't have to stick around in the particular box full of certain type of melodies. You can explore also riffs from the Middle Eastern or Indian vibes or anything, and that's kind of like a freedom of expression in this band. So I really didn't think about it. I don't think we sound Egyptian, even though the harmony line goes pretty well when you look at the picture from the pyramids. But no, it's not about pyramids. It's about bones.
So, history, the past, and why not the future? Because it has two-way meaning. By looking at the press release, we see here that you are preparing a massive tour for next fall, starting in October, I think, in Europe. You have a great lineup. You have a great billing. You seem to end it up on the last day of the year in your homeland, Finland. But why am I seeing more of that happen? Maybe American leg tour. You're also scheduled for the Miami adventure, 70,000 tons of metal.
Well, I think the Arch Enemy tour is, it comes like right after the album will come out, so it's pretty sure that we will have a headliner tour in Europe as well after that the next year. And I think it's kind of tradition to have a tour in Finland in December. That's what we have done, like, I don't know how many years. And this Miami cruise is always nice thing to do, like end of the January. But there is a lot of touring plans to next year, but I don't know, they are not confirmed yet or not released yet, so cannot talk about too much. But there will be US tour, I guess, and Europe for sure. And
you have done so many tours in the past, numerous, and world tours, of course. I always want to ask you this one: do you most prefer the small clubs when you can be intimate with the crowd? You just reach them and touch them, the first row, or is it like you prefer open air festivals without huge stage and many more ways to express your show?
Well, there's good sides playing in small clubs for the audience, for intimacy, and they are really in front of you. But there's also good sides playing very big festivals. They are great promotion for your band, and you can reach bigger audiences. So personally, I wouldn't say I prefer either one, but big festival with 20,000-30,000 people in a nice circumstances, that you are kind of privileged if your band is able to do that. So I respect that a lot. And I prefer that too, because it's there's so many people, but yeah, small clubs every now and then full of people. It's totally different ball game, and it's really nice also. And I wouldn't compare them. I would say both are very nice and cool. Only shitty part is to play anywhere without audience. That's the shitty part. But if the club is full, festival is full, a lot of people, anything goes. I'm just happy to hump on a stage and be able to do my thing and perform our songs with the good friends. But impossible to compare in that extent.
Life can be hard and tough on the road.
Yeah, it can be
You
very,
visit the
very,
city every day.
very hard. Yeah,
Visit
it
the
can be
city every
very hard.
day. You see venues, and then you have to pack for the next one and the next one. And what's that like?
Well, traveling in a bus, like if you're staying in you don't have to like fly between the shows like every night. So that would mean like 2 hours sleep per night. But like if you're traveling with the nightliner, that's pretty easy. Like it's like your home is with you all the time. You can take a nap if you want, and that's pretty relaxing. But I guess the hardest tours are like the festival tours if you're having too many shows in a row and you just have to fly and stay in airports like most of the time. Sometimes it feels like that, but yeah, the touring itself isn't that hard in a tour bus, but you can make it hard, of course.
Yeah, we had our times when it was pretty hard, that there was a party going on all the time, and in a sleeping area there was somebody shouting all the night drunk and stuff like that. But not we've been touring so long, and we have kind of like some sort of a private space. If you're sleeping in your bunk, nobody comes there to drag you to the party. And we also have like kind of like small rules that are, please don't talk or shout in the bunk area where people are sleeping. So basically you can relax and take a rest over there. And also these kind of manners which came throughout the years, that if you just, when you wake up from the bunk totally tired and you go make breakfast, it would be nice that there is not a guy nagging you all the time, like talking endlessly and asking stupid questions. I just let you be there and be in silence and wake up and make a breakfast and get to the day. So obviously that doesn't always go like that, because sometimes we share a bus with another band and they have different manners and they're used to different kind of social culture. But last maybe 10 years, I think we have had pretty easygoing tours, very easygoing, and totally, as Tomi said, nothing is that hard than humping from hotel, get to the airport, wait in the airport, wait the flight, fly, then travel to the festival, back to hotel, to the airport. That's the worst case. Traveling with the bus is kind of like a nice holiday with the guys.
I'm going to go back to the album, gentlemen. The videos that you're preparing for the next days, is it okay if you let us know which songs you have picked?
Oh, you mean to live set or?
I mean, the rest of the videos to be released for Borderland. Are they announceable?
I have no idea. I think if record company hasn't announced them, I don't think we can announce them. But
No, it would not be wise.
Yeah,
Well,
but you can easily guess maybe one song which definitely will be out, but I don't know when. But it's quite obvious if you listen to the album.
I'm going to write it down when I do, the intro for this interview, and I do hope I get in.
Yeah.
Succeed. You mentioned about traveling and the live thing and the touring. Can I ask you to take us on a trip with a DeLorean on your mind, back to 3 amazing moments you have as Amorphis during your touring, during your world tours, anywhere. Any place.
3.
Well, I can start.
Sure.
One moment was just pure Amorphis show. We played in Mexico first time I think it was 99 in Mexico City, and there was a problem with the generator. It was full of people, like 2,000 people, and the generator broke down, I think 7 times, and all the breaks were something like 10 to 15 minutes, and the people got really angry. Our technician couldn't go to the stage finally to prep the guitars because people were so angry they were throwing some coins. That was my first time. It was a great show, don't get me wrong, but the problem was that it lasted like 3 hours or 3.5 hours, and every break we went to the backstage and drank some beers. So we ended up in the late end of the show, we were totally wasted, and the show had lasted 3.5 hours. And that's one. Second is one when we supported Metallica when they did the Black Album tour, and James Hetfield came to hang around with us. I think it was a great move because he didn't have to, but he just wanted to say hello to all the support bands. And we hung around with him and took some photos, and it was really legendary moment. And one moment also important for me was we supported the Iron Maiden maybe 10 years ago in a stadium in Finland, and it was very heartwarming experience because the Iron Maiden guys are really down to earth, and Bruce Dickinson even came to ask us, like he was jogging around the stadium, and he was asking like if somebody wants to join for a jogging before the show. That's kind of cool. I think those 3 are at least memorable for me.
Fantastic. Tomi?
Well, I can add one at least. We played in Turkey, Istanbul, sometimes like late 90s, before Sunday came, just before Sunday came to band. And there was, we felt when we played, like people were jumping and they were like very fanatic audience. And then we felt like the whole stage was like bumping. And then the like firemen came to cancel the show, or saying that it's gonna collapse soon. If you have seen those wedding videos, sometimes when all the all the people are just, it's not fun, but it was very close that the whole floor was collapsing. But anyway, they just get rid of the most of the people, and then some of the people stayed in like corners, and we continued to play the whole set anyway. That's one what I remember. But I remember, as Sande said, the Iron Maiden supporting was very big thing, and yeah, nothing else comes to my mind now.
I remember that show too. I was already in Amorphis in Istanbul where that.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering how the hell the PA next to the stage is going like zigzag, and and then our guitar tech went downstairs, and then they stopped the show immediately and started to push people out from the jumping zone. And yeah, it was a matter of seconds. It could have collapsed the whole stage, the whole floor. Yeah.
You are composers, you're musicians, performers, and above all, you're artists. One small comment about Ozzy, who's not amongst us anymore.
Oh, that's horrible news, and really sad that he had this disease and he died. But he was a great influence for me, probably one of by far the biggest. We practiced Paranoid and Iron Man and all these classics when I was like something like 8 or 9 with my friends and stuff. So he has a very strong input that I am heavy metal musician at all. He showed the first steps, and all the rest of his career after the first Sabbath albums, the music was great. And I even saw them in a Ultimate Sin tour when I was something like 12. And then we supported with Amorphis them in the End tour when they did it in Helsinki. And that was great. But a sad story, but rest in peace. And the legend will live on. He was, I think Black Sabbath almost invented the whole heavy metal.
Tommy?
Yeah, it's yeah, Ozzy is one of the big one of the big guys or idols in heavy metal scene, and yeah, it feels like Ozzy has always been like before I was born, he was like a star and doing his thing, and he was very original, didn't give a shit about the others' opinions, and but still he was what I feel like he was a warm person and a great person. So of course it's very sad.
Sander, Tomi, I just have one question to ask you before I leave you. And before I do that, I want to thank you both for your time and being here and giving this interview. It means a lot to us. Deeply appreciate it. And I would like to ask you this one. Let's say that you're doing a show somewhere in the world, and the show is done, and you leave the stage, you leave backstage, and you want to proceed with the next city. And some guy, some girl, 17 years old, stops you there and says, Tommy, Sander, I was so moved by your show. I was so astounded, so astonished that I want to be a professional musician. I want to make a living out of music, your music, heavy metal music. What would you say back? I don't say advise or give any piece of advice, but what would you say back?
I would say good choice, but it's gonna be hard on a rocky road if it goes like it normally goes. But I would say like don't listen the negative people, but be objective towards your music. Don't believe you are a star if you are not, and don't believe your music is fucking great if it's not. Stay objective. Don't give up. Listen to your friends. Practice, become better, and maybe it's not a bad idea to have some sort of a backup plan. But still, that's quite obvious. But don't give up, and don't believe in your dreams, and stay strong. It's possible. It's hard, but it's possible.
And do your own thing. Don't try to copy someone else who did it already. You can take influences, but try to find your own path.
Thank you so much. All the best with Borderland and the upcoming tour. Hope to see you in Greece. Hope to see you soon. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.